Thank you so much for attending my PowerPoint presentation on Dragon Knight, a Dota 2 hero. DK is a melee strength core whose most iconic feature is being the easiest hero in the game to both understand and play. His kit balances out to effectively become a tutorial for anyone looking to play Dota 2, and it's also the reason why they chose him to be the protagonist of the Dota 2 anime. His Q is a ranged AoE magical nuke that does an underwhelming amount of damage, but also nerfs the attack damage of any enemy units that he hits. It's used to secure range creeps in the lane and to get a satyr camp down to 3/4 HP so you can right-click the rest of it down. His W, Dragon Tail, is a melee range stun that deals a decent amount of magic damage and has a solid duration. Melee range stuns usually suck, but don't worry, he has a way to fix that later on. His E is a passive, and what it does entirely depends on which version of the hero that you picked. With the standard Fire Dragon Facet, his attacks now deal additional magic damage, and all of his spells and items have increased area of effect. The Corrosive version will decrease the target's armor and apply a damage over time effect, and convert all of your spells to pure physical damage. The third option, Frost Dragon, will slow enemy movement speed and reduce their healing by 35% each whenever you smack them. All of these abilities are buffed by his ultimate, Elder Dragon form, that allows DK to unleash the beast within and literally become a dragon. While in this form, he gains bonus movement speed, bonus attack damage, 350 attack range, his stun becomes AoE, his attacks become AoE, and I'm probably forgetting something. The more important thing to know is that this ultimate lasts an entire minute with a cooldown of 100 seconds. This means that you can be in Elder Dragon form for the majority of the game after you hit level 6. It's an install ultimate that you don't necessarily have to care about the timing of. Earlier, when you cast your Q on a satyr camp and it barely did any damage, you can pop your ultimate out of rage to farm it down a little bit faster. Still, the best time to use it is when you're hitting a tower, because not only are you able to hit it from a range while dealing bonus damage, but you're also daring the enemy team to go on you. That thing that I forgot is that your innate, which grants you a ton of bonus armor and health regeneration, is doubled during your ultimate. Now, with all of this in mind, you're probably wondering the obvious question. Where do his clothes go when he goes into dragon form, and why do they magically come back? Now, if you're troubled by this quandary, you'll be happy to know that the anime actually confirmed what Dragon Knight's butt cheeks look like. Go ahead and close Dota, open up Netflix, and get to reviewing that replay. Oh, I forgot I put them in this slide. Alright. Now earlier when I talked about how Dragon Knight is a walking tutorial for Dota 2, it was funny, but it wasn't a joke. He is the foundation of Dota 2 hero design, and learning him is a good way to jumpstart your progress on learning the rest of the game. He can play all three core roles, meaning that if you mark mid and then some random Russian guy marks Shadow Fiend and tries to take it from you, you can just let him have it. You can offlane or carry all the same. And when you arrive at that lane, there's a pretty good chance that there is an even matchup waiting for you. His Q allows you to both harass enemy heroes and interact with the lane at the same time, teaching you how to use your spells efficiently. He also has plenty of regen and armor for the early game, so if the enemy lane is harassing the hell out of you, you don't have to leave lane as a result and ask yourself what the hell you were supposed to do. Instead, you're supposed to sit in the trees for a second, pop a tango, and emerge back out at 100% HP. He's not just beginner-friendly in the sense that he's easy to understand, but that he preemptively solves a lot of the problems that new Dota players are going to have. Being a melee brawler also comes with its own fair share of problems, many of which are solved by the existence of his ultimate. You no longer have to precariously waddle up to the tier 1 tower in order to put damage on it. And since you're playing some of the game as melee and some of it as ranged, you're going to be incidentally learning a lot about turn rate. Reminder that the average League player cannot handle this basic movement mechanic. All of these reasons are a big part of why Valve chose for Dragon Knight to be the protagonist of Dragon's Blood, the Dota 2 anime. Reminder that it came out before Arcane, making it yet another thing that League has stolen from us. Now, I didn't watch Dragon's Blood because I don't watch anime, but my dad said that it was alright, so if you want the official Dota 2 PowerPoints review, there it is. Now, all that bonus armor and HP regeneration isn't just good for surviving a difficult lane, it's also good for walking up and smacking a tier 2 tower at 28 minutes into the game while your team is on the opposite side of the map. DK is effectively the perfect brawler hero, someone who's able to go into a fight, cast all of his spells, tank a bunch of damage, and likely get out alive. His bulk is such that in order to effectively initiate a fight as DK, all you really have to do is A-click the enemy backline. As you walk forward, the entire enemy team will dump all their spells on you, and you will function as a Black King bar for the rest of your team. Alternatively, you have a ranged AoE stun, so you can blink, Shadow Blade, or hell just walk up, cast it, and initiate the fight like that. While this is going to be your primary function as an offlaner, you can also get away with it as a carry or a mid because a lot of your items just naturally make you tankier. Now, until you get your own BKB, you're going to be spending the majority of the team fight stunned, slowed, silenced, whatever, and that means that a lot of it is going to be on your team to deal all the damage. Once you finally do get a couple of right clicks out and melt the enemy pause 4 in 4 hits, you can then think about hitting the tower. And this is where DK truly shines. At level 18, DK gets 100 bonus attack damage whenever he goes into his ulti, and if he goes for an Aghanim Scepter, that bonus goes up to 140. The AoE bonus on your attacks also means that you will kill the approaching enemy creep wave on accident. This also introduces Dota 2 players to the very abstract and high-level concept of winning a team fight and then taking a tower afterwards. Even in the higher ranks of matchmaking, it's very easy to find people who never went through their Dragon Knight era. Lastly, that bonus damage also means that at a random point in the game, DK will suddenly deal a metric ton of damage. It's not quite at the same level of Muerto's mystery power spike, but with an Assault Cuirass and a Daedalus, you can usually chew through heroes before the stun from your W wears off. Overall, this play pattern represents the baseline for pretty much every Dota 2 hero. Dragon Knight is just designed in such a way that you will do it on accident. Now, if all of this sounds interesting to you, or you genuinely did watch the anime and decided to start learning a 12-year-old ultra-complicated multiplayer video game, first off, you have my respect and a little bit of my fear, and second off, here's how to play Dragon Knight. Now, what you're going to be doing in the early game depends quite a bit on what lane you're going to and what facet you chose. This hero has 9 possible combinations of facet and position, and all of them have a significant impact on the items you'll buy and the playstyle decisions you'll make. If you're just getting into Dota and you have no idea what you're doing, go ahead and pick the fire one and mark mid. I'm not saying this because mid is an easy role, I'm saying it because if you go mid, there won't be a lane partner there to ping you every time you miss the last hit on a flag bearer. Anyway, regardless of what facet or position you're going to be playing, the goal is to just get as much farm as you possibly can while surviving in the lane. DK himself is not particularly good at harassing, nor is he particularly good at turning lanes into meat grinders. Instead, he wants to sit there and be the immovable object against the opponent's unstoppable force. Last hit as well as you can, save up for power treads, and after that, the world's your oyster. All of the items that you see on screen right now are viable on DK in specific situations. If you're going as a carry, a Maelstrom or some other kind of farming item is usually a good idea. But you can also say screw it, go for a Mask of Madness and a Blink Dagger and become a jump scare merchant with your ulti. Sanjin Yasha offers great stats both for hitting and getting hit, and the same is true for Assault Cuirass, which makes it even easier to tear down buildings. Because you're technically a melee hero, but you spend the majority of the game in ranged, Hurricane Pike is a very funny option. And this is yet another opportunity for me to recommend Abyssal Blade on a ranged hero. It's a little bit overwhelming, but just remember that your goal is to get in there, tank as many spells as you can, and then return the damage in kind. If an item helps you accomplish any of those tasks, you can probably pick them up on DK. If you get flamed for any of the items you buy, just go ahead and type "sorry, I'm new" in team chat and hope that they leave you alone. Note that this trick works even if you have over 9,000 hours. I wrote a little bit here about how DK is the sort of foundation character of Dota. Feel free to read it if you like. Now, if you're tired of losing to Dragon Knight, or you hate anime so much you can't stand the idea of losing to a character voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, here's how to beat Dragon Knight. The first thing to know is that Dragon Knight is painfully fair, so if you can play unfair Dota, you absolutely should. Just think of any kind of character that you find annoying or plays with some sort of mechanic that no other hero can interact with. The ones on the right side of the screen all play a very distinct game in Dota, one that is unique to them and only them, and all 5 of them happen to counter DK. General lane bullies can work depending on which lane he's in, so pick Drow Ranger if he's a position 3 or Huskar if he's playing mid. Now while he is quite tanky, the amount of armor that he gets from his innate means that magic damage will be your preferred option. The best options are heroes that can not only deal a ton of magic damage, but also deal with his innate. Viper and Hoodwink fit both of these to a T, as they're able to do a ridiculous amount of magic damage and break his armor so that your teammates can get in on the fun. Lastly, he's a big tanky strength hero. Any tank busting options are effective against him. HP % damage from items like Spirit Vessel or abilities like Heartstopper Aura are very effective against him. Spirit Vessel gets bonus points because it also helps mitigate the effect of his natural regen. DK is the average Dota 2 hero, so just think of strategies that would annoy the average Dota 2 player. Before we head to the outro, I want to mention that I've launched a Patreon in order to continue making videos on this channel. The lowest tier is only $3, and the higher tiers give access to monthly bonus content as well as special goodies such as custom audio recordings and handwritten letters from me. To help celebrate the launch, I've also created a promo code PUGNACHAN that you can use to get 20% off. The link is in the description. Thank you very much for your continued support. In conclusion, Dragon Knight is a Dota 2 hero, and you should absolutely play him. Reminder that the term vanilla doesn't mean boring, but instead means widely enjoyed by almost everyone. Peace on planet Earth.